My triplet daughters recently graduated from high school. Flood applause. And my wife and I, we talk about how well we've prepared them for the world ahead. As parents, we like to check all the boxes, good school, science camp, driver's ed, occasional vegetables. We really want to do this well. But one of the boxes that isn't getting checked enough is the box called sex. Now, you can interpret that lots of ways, but the way that I mean it is that a shockingly low number of our kids are getting honest, accurate sex education in this country, right? Only 60% of young people hear anything at school about birth control. Half of parents say that they have never talked to their kid about how to use a condom. And don't even get me started on what is out there for our LGBTQ youth. It's terrible, right? And that we got to fix that. But one of the things when you're the head of, part of Planned Parenthood, of course, your kids have a very different experience. I have been embarrassing my kids with very frank sex talk and condoms in the drawer of the bathroom since they were early teens. And part of the reason why I did that is that what we know is that kids report that their first experience with porn is right about 13 or 14. And one of the things we know, right, is porn is everywhere online. And kids are everywhere online. So, ergo, kids are going to see porn. And porn is a manual for bad sex. Now, I'm not here to, I'm not here to indict all porn, but I do want to say that too much of it is male-centered, it's violent, it's stereotypical, and of course, it's fake. But half of the kids who see porn believe it to be true, to be real. And if your instruction manual for sex and relationships is male-centric, violent, stereotypical, fake porn, what could possibly go wrong? It certainly contributes to a culture where we have to have a Me Too movement. And also, even despite new laws, we're seeing that revenge porn is, of course, back in the headlines, courtesy of the governor, now indicted governor of Missouri. So when you take emerging technology and combine it with that culture, some weird stuff starts to happen. On the really far out objectification side of the program, what we have are guys who are 3D printing life-size robots that look creepily like female celebrities and sometimes their ex-girlfriends. True. On the insidious part of the program, we've got Siri and Cortana and Alexa, who are all explicitly female kind of servant assistant modes, right? I'm very convinced that Amazon has a sandwich-making robot that looks like an Instagram model ready to ship any minute here. So if we want these kids who are growing up today to be the coolest, most liberated generation ever, some of us are going to have to use technology to create a 2.0 world of sex, sexuality, and relationships. And of course, by someone, I mean you, the lesbians who tech, right? Yes? Let's call you the good sex tech team. Who wants to be on that team? Yeah, I thought so. Because let me tell you what's happening on that team. On that team, women-owned sex toy companies are reinventing the landscape and disrupting the industry with eco-friendly, healthy pleasure products for real people. Another great one is that there are devices that actually count how many Kegel exercises you do and how well you do them. It's kind of like a fitness tracker for your vagina, right? also in our world, our scientists are creating condoms that actually prevent HIV even when they break, right? That's a cool development. Diva cups and thinks are totally upending the way many people do periods. And of course, we can't forget that there are now vibrating panties that activate to music, which gives whole new meaning to the phrase dance party, right? So, what we know is that, of course, technology, for better or worse, can shape the sex landscape and shake it up. But it's still sex with real human beings and bodies and their health. And Planned Parenthood has been doing sex for 101 years. So, we are the largest sex educator in the country. 1 in 5 women say that they have come to Planned Parenthood for sexual or reproductive care over their lifetime. 11% of our patients identify as male. 70 million people now come every year to our website for information and access. In 20 states and counting, we are now providing hormone therapy to our trans patients. Yeah. And one day soon, that's going to be everywhere. In 10 states, we're providing medication abortion by telemedicine, which is a game changer for our friends in rural communities. We're using technology to shake up and remove barriers and give people control of their bodies and their lives. So I'd like you to imagine with me your day, potentially, we'll imagine it's your day, enhanced with Planned Parenthood as your partner. So you wake up in the morning and you have your period. But guess what? You're not surprised because you use Spot On, our award-winning, gender-neutral, no butterflies, no pink period tracking app. I do think there might be a dinosaur. But anyway, after that, you go, oh my God, I think I had unprotected sex last night. Do I need Plan B or an STD test? You reach for your phone, you go to our chat text program where an expert tells you the answer or gets you an appointment. And very soon, that real human being expert is going to be joined by an artificially intelligent chat bot that is going to make that service available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for people anywhere in the world. Next, you're sitting at your desk and you go, I'm a super responsible person. I'm sorry, you're at your cube. You're sitting at your cube and you say, I think I really could use some birth control on a more regular basis. So if you live in California or one of the other 5 or 6 states where we have just rolled out Planned Parenthood Direct, you're able to have your appointment right there on your phone and have that birth control or a UTI treatment shipped directly to your door. And that's coming to states all over this country. Later that afternoon, you are sitting there or drinking your coffee, and you get a text alert because you signed up by, really listen for this, texting DEFEND to 22422 to become a Planned Parenthood Defender. And so the alert tells you that the administration has launched yet another attack on reproductive rights in this country. And of course, as soon as you see that, you shoot off a couple of tweets at the discriminator-in-chief, and then you say, of course I'll attend that town hall meeting tonight to make it clear what my views are and to put pressure on your local official. Once you've done that, you and Planned Parenthood have at this point had a very long day between the period and the unprotected sex, all of that. You get home and you say, I think I'll stream some of my favorite shows, catch up on a little Scandal or Jane the Virgin, and there you see a character have an abortion with no shame, no stigma, and no judgment, and you give a little cheer called Hell Yeah. Hell yeah. We're now taking emerging technologies like virtual reality, and we're combining that with storytelling to help create empathy. We created a virtual reality piece called Across the Line. It puts you in the shoes of a patient trying to get through a crowd of angry protesters outside of a health center. Turns out that once you have been threatened with eternal damnation in the lake of fire and called a wicked Jezebel feminist, among the nicer things that they call you, you're much more likely to actually stand up for people seeking an abortion. And so that's changing minds and changing hearts so that we can change the laws. So that's a good one. What we're going to be doing with this next is super cool. We're going to take that virtual reality and we're going to create immersive environments where young people can navigate real-life decision-making in virtual reality in a safe space so that when they get in the real world, they've actually had a little bit of practice with things like consent. It may also be that you and I can take a fantastical journey through our reproductive system and finally figure out where our fallopian tubes actually are, like down there, over there. So I didn't get the health part of Planned Parenthood as well. So all that we try to do with technology at Planned Parenthood is, of course, use it to help people have lives in the real world that are the lives that they want. When Margaret Sanger opened the first Planned Parenthood Center in 1916 in Brooklyn, it was already about more than birth control. It was about a big idea that your body and your pleasure are your own. Your body and your pleasure are your own. Margaret Sanger said, "No woman can call herself free who does not own or control her body." Today, even as we still face politicians who don't want us to have sex and want to punish us when we do, we're looking at you, Mike Pence, right? We are using technology to get around every barrier that they throw up. So whether it was the dream of a magic pill that a woman could take so she could enjoy sex without pregnancy, or the launch of apps that put some of that magic in your pocket, Planned Parenthood, with your help, will continue to innovate, to upend the system so that each and every person can live the life of their dreams. Thank you so much.